Well, good morning, everyone. We are running out of ways to say it. Another hot day on tap across Central Texas. And this morning we are under an excessive heat warning. Thank you so much for waking up with us. I'm Jasmine Caldwell.
And I am Michael Wilson. We want to say good morning to you, and we want to talk about this weather. Like you said, we are running out of ways to say it. It's hot, it's humid, it's unbearable, horrible.
It's Texas, it's summer.
It's summer in Texas. You got to get used to it. But the man who can probably tell us this weather with a smile on his face, because I surely can't do it, is meteorologist Jordan Frazier.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Well, we are under a new type of heat warning for today. It is the excessive heat warning. Now, we're certainly no stranger to it, especially with all the humidity we had throughout the week last week. But we were just under a heat advisory yesterday, and yeah, it got extended, or could I say upgraded. And that's because air temperatures, especially for our western zones, are expecting to get up to about 105 to 110. Yeah, that's going to be hot, and heat index values can get up to about 115 by late this afternoon. That makes 2 weeks in a row of us being under a heat advisory or heat warning. That goes for McLennan County and Bell County. So we're looking at constant heat. It's certainly been an early summer, and it's certainly not going to be over anytime soon. Live look as you're waking up right now at 5 o'clock. 78 is what it feels like. It's actually 77. Nice clear skies. Southeasterly wind is continuing to bring in a little bit of humidity, but it's certainly not going to be as bad by this afternoon. Across the region right now, 80 degrees in College Station, 77 in Centerville, 78 in Waco, 81 right now in Lampasas. Nice clear skies, but over the next dozen hours, we're still talking about that high heat coming back on really strong. Once that sun comes up, yeah, we go from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s to those triple digits by as early as, what is that, 4 o'clock? Yeah, that's certainly pretty toasty out there. Maybe go for an iced coffee this morning as opposed to a hot one.
All right, Jordan, thank you so much. Well, right now, the U.S. Postal Service is making some changes because of the heat, allowing all carriers to start their routes an hour earlier at 7:30 in the morning. Unfortunately, this comes a little too late for one carrier in East Dallas who will be buried this week. Well, 66-year-old Eugene Gates Jr., see him right here on your screen, he collapsed on his routes last Monday. His wife says that he was in great health. The Postal Service is waiting for an autopsy, but we do know that the heat index hit 113 degrees that afternoon that he died. We are also keeping a close watch on the power grid this morning. Energy demand peaked at more than 80,000 megawatts yesterday. All this comes despite ERCOT breaking a summer record. Well, the grid operator does not expect any calls to conserve today. And a reminder that we will send you any alerts if that changes throughout the day. You can download our 6 News app to stay up to date on all things ERCOT. And you can also track weather conditions in your neighborhood. It is right now, it is free, and your app store emphasis, it is FREE free, so download it.
Okay, well, this morning, Killeen ISD has a new superintendent, and she is breaking barriers and taking names. Meredith Haas introduces us to Dr. Joanne Fay.
Dr. Joanne Fay, the 20th Superintendent of Killeen Independent School District, the first female.
After 32 hours of meetings, interviews, and a unanimous vote, the decision has been made. Dr. Joanne Fay will be the newest superintendent at Killeen ISD.
Students in our system are the reason why we belong here and the reason why we do the work in the 32 hours and 17 minutes of work that we do.
While addressing Killeen District staff and the community at a press conference Monday morning, Fay stressed what she will focus on once she officially assumes her role in July.
I have lots of hopes and dreams for kids, and all of that begins with systems and structures to support teachers, because when you support teachers, you support kids. Building out talent pipelines, building out a strategic plan that has true KPIs that we're responsible for as an organization.
Fay comes from a, quote, majority-minority school in Southwest ISD in San Antonio, where she worked for 25 years. KISD has previously applauded Fay's ability to improve the lives of all ethnic groups there. Fay also makes it a point that in her time as superintendent, she will hold everyone accountable and rely on communication to help families succeed in the district.
So we want to make sure that we're held accountable. I mean, ultimately, we're the adults that are responsible for 44,500 lives, and we need to be accountable to that.
For 6 News, I'm Meredith Haas.
Well, thank you, Meredith. Killeen Police will be out in full force cracking down on drunk drivers this week. You know the drill. Departments ramp up patrols every year heading into a holiday weekend. In 2021, more than 500 people died in car crashes during the 4th of July week.
All right, your time now is 5:06, and it's time for your morning rush. Texas is reporting a case of malaria. It is the first in our state since 1994. Officials say that the patient lives in Cameron County. Now that's near the border, and this person spent time working outdoors. But he or she has not traveled outside of the U.S. Malaria can be transmitted through a mosquito bite. Well, today a special session is expected to end with no deal on property taxes. It is the reason that Governor Abbott called the special session in the first place. He warns that more are expected until lawmakers get the job done. Well, today, Supreme Court justices will hand down their next round of opinions, and this ruling could have an impact on millions, possibly the biggest of them, the long-awaited decision on President Biden's student loan forgiveness program and an affirmative action case concerning school admissions. Well, President Biden, he is also rolling out a $42 billion plan to give every household high-speed internet. He also wants to do this by 2030. Funds will be given to each state over the next 2 years. Texas and California will be getting the most with a combined total of more than $5 billion. And that is your morning rush.
Okay, well, now to a rare one-on-one interview with Republican presidential hopeful Ron DeSantis, the Florida governor, at the Texas border, slamming Donald Trump for not rolling out an aggressive immigration crackdown. He spoke to Gabe Gutierrez.
In Texas, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis feeling the heat, taking on the GOP frontrunner, blasting Donald Trump for not being tough enough at the border while he was president.
He's promising a lot of the same things this time that he did last time, and he didn't deliver on it.
DeSantis speaking with NBC News and rolling out an aggressive crackdown to deter illegal border crossings that includes re-implementing the Remain in Mexico policy for asylum seekers, ending birthright citizenship, and allowing the use of deadly force against people who cut through U.S. border fences.
Once you cut through the wall, you have hostile intent because you're obviously running drugs. You absolutely can use deadly force.
But DeSantis' critics say his immigration proposals largely mirror those of Mr. Trump, who, according to a new NBC News national poll, has the support of 51% of Republican primary voters. DeSantis' support has dropped to 22%.
He's falling like a rock. People are getting to know him. They know he's got no personality.
How do you explain to your supporters and your donors that since your campaign has launched, you've dropped 9 points?
So, two things. One, I think if you look the swing states, Biden beats Trump in the swing states, and I beat Biden handily in the swing states. That's ultimately the election right there. It's a two-man race. He's one of the most famous people in the world. Everyone knows him.
Well, that was NBC's Gabe Gutierrez reporting. In a hypothetical matchup, the NBC poll shows DeSantis tied with President Biden, while Biden leads Trump by 4 points. Okay, your time right now is 5:10 this morning. Coming up, Cash App taking some heat this morning. A huge glitch caused people's accounts to go into the negatives. We don't want that. Their response to the drama and what it means for your money next.
And unfortunately, that heat is not going into the negatives. It's going up into the positives. I got more heat on the way.
And there's the big old baby. Look at him on your screen. It needs a name. How you can help next. You are up with Texas Today.